But I feel like this is almost certain death. Like, there's no way this is gonna work out for us. You a bandit? You're a bandit. Sorry. He has a helmet up. You gotta be very careful. I've made this mistake so many times now. No punching if anyone's near us. Only punch the targets in front of us, not the random passerbys.
What was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten? Where the f am I? What was it?
Welcome back, YouTube. We are back in Kingdom Come Deliverance again. We are right where we left off. We are just arriving at Ushitz. Kind of a weird spot to end the episode, but I chose to, so it is what it is now. I think I suspected something was going to happen, some kind of story development. I think I was wrong. Oh no, I wasn't wrong. There's the story development. It's right there. So what is our objective? Let's look at that real quick here. Current objective is find out where the limping bandit lives. Okay. So we got to figure out where this limping bandit lives, and you can see something is happening here. Let's investigate, shall we?
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
If that's what you call nothing to see, I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's Captain Bernard. I'm investigating the attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here.
It's not usually
What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
Auschwitz.
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
Auschwitz.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Shit. Well, allow me to introduce you to Limpy Lubosh. Or all that's left of him.
Looks like someone got to Limpy before we did.
Sacre. Nothing's ever easy. I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
Sounds good to me. We can level our speech skill, hopefully enough to get free bathhouses.
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
A poor crofter and a scoundrel. Can't say I'm too surprised what happened to him. He kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting into some kind of trouble. Punch-ups in the tavern and what have you.
How come he limped?
He got that from some villainy or brawl a long time ago.
Has he been up to anything suspicious lately?
I don't know. The last few days he didn't go anywhere. He was home the whole time. But he always kept everyone in the village at arm's length.
Did he have any kith or kin in the village?
None. A loner he was. I don't know the last time I saw him with anyone.
Do you happen to know where he was on the night of the Neuhof raid?
I've no idea. He kept his distance from other folk, so you never knew if he was away or holed up at home.
Not too much useful information.
When did you find the body? And did anyone see anything?
Just now. And nobody saw or heard anything. I don't know how they could gut him like that without someone hearing him scream.
He's probably dead before they did all that. Who could teach me to read? We don't need to ask that right now. You.
My respects to you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Of course. Ask away.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
He was a drunk who was always looking for a fight. Nobody liked him much, but I wouldn't wish an end like that on any man.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Well, now I think of it, I hadn't seen him around for a while. No idea where he was skulking.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was
He's
raided?
probably dead in his house.
Not a clue.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with? Relatives or friends?
He was a loner. He didn't even have any mates in the tavern.
That's
Okay.
all. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to the next. You.
God be with you. Do you need anything?
Information.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know how I can help you, but ask if you must.
Who was this Lubosh who was murdered?
You could see at first glance he was no good. I kept well out of his way.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
There wasn't sight or sound of him for a long time, and then yesterday he turned up at the church and even talked
He was
to the
alive
parish
yesterday.
priest.
Okay.
I never saw him do that before. Probably had a bad conscience.
So we've found that he spoke to the priest.
Do you
That's
know
useful.
what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I don't think he was home. I didn't see him all day.
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time with? Kin or friends?
As far as I know, he had nobody at all in this world.
That's
Okay.
all.
One
Thank you.
useful tidbit there.
May the Lord watch over
We
you.
won't question all these people. We're just gonna pick random people and like question them. Like you. What do you know?
Good day to you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know nothing about it, but ask all you want.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
I didn't really know him. He kept to himself, even in the tavern.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Come to think of it, he was in church yesterday. He was even talking to the priest
Another
and went to confession. I was wondering what he
Hint to
was
go
up to.
check the priest.
To take to the faith all of a sudden. But I suppose no sin's too dark for God's mercy.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I was coming from the tavern very late that night, and I caught a glimpse of someone entering the village. He looked like he was in a hurry. It was only a shadow against the sky, but after what happened, I wouldn't wonder.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with? Relatives or friends?
Not with anyone from the village. He used to sit in the tavern next to us sometimes, but he never said much.
That's
Okay.
all. Thank you.
And maybe the last one
Lord
we
watch over you.
investigate. Let me wash up. Pretty dirty. Yeah, I think we got all we needed here. If we look at our quest log, it tells us talk to the priest or find out more. Is that find out more still? That's like on the whole city. It's not necessarily just these people. There may be a little bit more information we could squeeze out of them, but I think we have enough. It's tempting to talk to him just to try and level speech. So you'll see our current XP with speech is 86. If I talk to one of these guys, it should go up. I'll try you.
God be with you. What can I do for you?
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa.
So it was 86.
investigating
We'll
the
see if it
massacre
goes
in
up
Neuhof.
after I talk
Now
to
a
her.
murder
See how
here
much
as
it goes
well.
up as well.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Ask away.
Who was this Lubosh who was murdered?
He was a drunkard and a beast. And lazy too. Idle hands are the devil's tools.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
The only thing seemed suspicious was how a rogue like him suddenly started going to church. Now I see why, of course.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
What do I care about that scoundrel? I was glad he stayed out of my way.
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time with? Kin or friends?
He was always a loner. Except lately, he started talking to the parish priest of all people.
That's all.
So it was 86, I think it's the number I said. And now we are 92. So we got plus 6. So theoretically we could just ramble to these people and just keep getting that number up. And if we get it to 260, we'd get the next level, but I don't feel like doing that. I'm trying to avoid doing grindy, boring stuff. I think we have enough information to move on with this quest. How are we doing on our needs? We're a little bit injured. I think you see our health over here. Health is down slightly. Energy's down. Energy's pretty good. Nourishment's pretty good. We're doing okay. Let's go find the priest and we'll talk to him real quick. Here's like the center of town. We got all those things. Pillory or whatever. Grocer in the streets yelling. Innkeeper with his inn. There's the church. There's a scribe right there. If we want to learn to read, we can do it at that place, but we're not going to do that right now. There's the priest. Let's go talk to him. Father Godwin, who has a sword in his hands. Can I talk to you?
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy. I hope this nasty business will be cleared up quickly.
Did you know Lubosh? What was he like?
Bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child. All sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubosh don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing on the day Neuhof was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son. And one of those is the sanctity of the confessional.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances. And this is one of them.
So we can try and persuade him with one of these options. You can't quite see him. We can either say, you can't hurt him now as a speech option. Our speech is 7 + 4. You can see in the lower left there. So we're pretty speechy. That's pretty good. We could try a reputation check with you could be condemning innocent people to death. We have a reputation or charisma or whatever of 5 + 2. And then we could also try, I'll get that confession out of you by force, which is like the cross swords thing. We'll try the speech one because that's our highest stat. And I think that's the most reasonable. I mean, I like the condemning innocent people to death one as well. We'll still do the speech one.
But Lubosh is dead. You can't hurt him, but if you don't tell me, more innocent people may die.
If I told you, I would be betraying a vow that's a cornerstone of the Holy Church. If people believed the sanctity of the confessional couldn't be trusted, the consequences would be even worse than that.
Worse than the death of innocent Christians? Worse than the murderer escaping punishment?
No one escapes punishment.
Father, Lubosh was my only lead to the Neuhof raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again. Surely you wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional. I'll tell you what. Give me some time and I'll try to think up some way of helping you. Suppose we talk it over in the evening, in the tavern, over a cup of good wine. Maybe we'll come up with something.
All right. Thank you, Father.
Good luck to you.
Okay. So we have to meet with him in the evening. What time is that? Does I have that defined in here? Just says evening. It's currently like 3:45, 3:40, so It's not too far away. Let's ask him about his... Why does he have a sword? He's a priest. Aren't priests like peaceful men? Can I talk to you? You're gonna like hit me. There we go.
I see you know how to wield a sword, Father. I wouldn't have expected that from a man of the cloth.
With a stick. I practiced with a stick. Reminder of my youth and days gone by, and it helps keep me in good form.
Okay. He didn't have too much to say about it. I mean, he might be able to just help us now.
Have you thought of a way to help me solve that murder?
Let's leave it for the evening.
No.
Come to the tavern after sunset.
After sunset, okay.
May the Lord watch over you.
Okay. So what are we gonna do until sunset is the question now. I wanted to go to the woods with the witch and do some alchemy. I don't think we have time for that. I also want to... We could do some restocking of things, you know, trying to like heal us up. Healing will only happen through like either paying or sleeping. Is there even an inn? Not an inn. Is there a bathhouse here? If there is, it would be like right here, I think, in my brain. I don't think Auschwitz has a bathhouse. Hello.
Is it
You want to talk
my
to me?
respects to you?
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Sir Hanush gives a job like that to a young fellow like you? Well, what do I
You look
care?
the same age as me.
Ask.
You're not that much older, if any.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
He was a strange one. Always drinking, bad-tempered. Lord knows how he made a living. Well, maybe now I've got an idea or two.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
I didn't see much of him lately. Not even in the tavern. Not till yesterday in church, as it happens.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I don't think he was home at all. Wait. Are you saying he... Jesus.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with? Relatives or friends?
I really don't know.
Yeah.
That's all.
Nothing new. I think we just gotta work with the priest. I think he's the only one who can help us at this point. We could just wait until the evening, but I'd prefer to like do something with our time. Just trying to think what we could do. Maybe we will go to the witch in the woods. I don't think that's the best idea though, to be honest. Oh, I just pulled my bow. Oops. I pulled my sword out. Henry. Let's speak to the bail. Actually, let's speak to the innkeeper. Let's see if there's any quests in town.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Do you have any quests for me? What's happening around
Is there
here?
anything suspicious going on in these parts?
Indeed there is. Around here, you should hear about what Vashek the groom has been up to at the stables. When the head groom told the lads here, they fell off their seats laughing. Oh, and another thing.
Okay, the groom.
Just last night, Father Godwin was here.
We just spoke to
pouring
him.
fire and brimstone down on old Gertrude, the herb woman. He's not one to make a fuss over some trifle either.
Looks like our priest man might have another quest as well.
May the Lord watch over.
Okay, I know about the head groom quest. We might have time to do that. If we have till sunset, sunsets in, according to this, it looks like it sets at like 9, so we actually have a lot of time. Yeah, let's go talk to the head groom. That could be a good use of our time. See if we can get some questing done here. Okay, we are at the stable in Auschwitz. See what this guy has to say about it. Any work available, my friend?
Any work going here?
Enough for a dozen men. You could take the place of that useless stable hand Vashek for a start.
What happened? Did he do something wrong?
Just found out that he lost our pie.
Lost it where? In his stomach?
No, Pie was our fastest stallion. A lovely dappled one.
Oh. Well, that's bad news. How did Vashek manage to lose him?
He fell, banged his head, and the horse bolted. Can you fathom it? A stable hand falling off a horse. And then Pie took off at a gallop.
I could try and find him.
I can't take Vashek's job, but I can try to find your pie.
That would be nice of you. If there's anything you need to know, ask that fool. I was too livid to even speak to him.
Right.
Sounds good. We could also buy a horse here if we wanted to. The way you buy horses is you look at them. So this is Pegasus. We can inspect Pegasus. You can see Pegasus is quite better than our Pebbles. It is way faster, has slightly more capacity, double the courage, and significantly more stamina. We will be buying a new horse. I just don't know when. They're quite expensive, several thousand groschen, and we only have 548, which is not terrible, but I'm not trying to spend, like, we don't have enough to buy a good horse. A good horse would be like 2k. And even if we had 2k, I don't want to spend all our money on like one big purchase. I'd rather keep some money in our pocket.
Good day to you.
How's the head?
So even strangers know my shame. Come on, then. Come and take a closer look at Vashek the Blockhead.
Well, it was pretty funny, but I didn't come to taunt.
So what is it you want?
I'm here to help.
I promised the head groom that I'd look for pie.
Well, good luck with that. I've been searching half the day. Although I have been seeing double ever since that bang on the head. So it's possible I missed something.
Can you describe pie for me?
Long face. 4 legs.
You did hit your head hard, didn't you?
Yes. Why?
I asked you to describe Pie, not every horse in the world.
Sorry, he's a dappled grey, a stallion, and he's really fast. Though that won't help you much.
Quite the opposite. Where did you fall off, Pie?
Just south of here. Between the fields and the woods, there's a crossroads where 4 paths meet. It was around there.
4 paths? So we could have gone anywhere.
Now you see my problem.
When was that?
In the morning. Then I staggered about for a while, feeling as rough as a boar's ass. I was glad to stagger back here in the end.
Fine. I'll go and look for him.
Thanks. If you find him, the groom might go easier on me. Oh, and one more thing.
Well?
Pie's used to taking the bridle ways, so I'd keep to those.
That's useful. Thanks.
Okay.
Good luck to you.
It is now 4:30. We are running low on time. We might not finish this quest before, because we have to be back at the inn. That's not our horse. Where's our horse at? There's our horse. We have to be back at the inn around evening, like around the sunset. So we basically have till the sun goes down. I don't know, that's the sun there, I think. We don't have very long. But we'll do as much as we can. So that's where we need to get to. We're currently in this stable somewhere. It'd be pretty easy to find our way down here to this 4-way path. So I think that's where we'll try and head. We'll try and head like towards the woods and find this 4-way. That's gonna be my first goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this way. That's a T. And there should be a 4-way right up here. Yep, this is it here, I think. Yep, we're right here. We gotta go, it would be a right from our perspective, and then we should come to a T. So this will be right, and then we go straight till we find a T. Here's the T, sister. Now, we are here facing west, so we need to take a left and go straight until we find the plus, and that plus will be the plus that we are searching for.
Yeah. Fuck me.
Oh, we have some kind of fight.
You didn't think this one through, did you, boys?
Mm.
Hey, they're after us.
Who? That's humans and bandits? I don't think we need to get involved in that. I would really like to. No idea how tempting that is. In fact, maybe we could save and try, and if we die, we die. We can just, you know, rewrite history or whatever. This isn't like permadeath or nothing, so. But I feel like this is almost certain death. Like, there's no way this is going to work out for us. You a bandit? You're a bandit. Sorry. Here's the helmet I want. One-on-one, I can kill anyone. But in groups, it's going to be hard. That's the problem. If, like, you know, we get like 2 or 3, like that. See, there's a second guy coming. It's another human, too. Okay, we got to go. Horse is going to kick us. Oh, nope. Horse held us. Awesome. Yeah, we took a bad hit there when we ran away. I want to keep those corpses. Because they had a fight, so like some people died. Okay, we're not in a fight currently. Let's bandage. And then we're also going to use a marigold decoction. Start getting our health back. I think they went that way. I see one right there way out on that hill. I think we're okay to dismount. Definitely want to keep our eyes open. I think the fight was up here on this hill, right? There should be... Yeah, there's a corpse right here. Because, like, even if we don't kill these guys, we could get some good loot out of this. Like, these guys probably have, like, really good loot. Let's leave our horse is kind of a marker now. I wanted to find that one guy. I want the one with the hat. The one I stabbed in the face like 3 times, who was just standing there being an idiot. That hat he was wearing is my favorite hat. And it's like the best hat in the game, in my opinion. So if his corpse is around here, I would love to find that. Oh, here's a corpse. That's 2. We actually have a strength perk. Let me look at that real quick, because one of them in there is grave digger. I might actually get that so we can carry bodies. But I feel like there's probably better choices. This doesn't matter. We never use a shield to block. I perfect block. I don't block. Boar doesn't matter. I think that's a bad thing. Tight grip's actually really good. We probably would rather have tight grip than grave digger. Yeah, we're just going to get tight grip, but we will get that now. That just makes it so our stamina regen in combat will be better. Like, normally when you draw your weapon backwards... There's his weapon. When you draw your weapon backwards after swinging, like during the recovery of the swing, it, like, you don't have any stamina regen, or it's reduced stamina regen or something, and that removes that penalty. So we'll just have better stamina regen overall while fighting now. I feel like there was like 8 people, right? There was like 4 bandits and 4 humans. 2 of the humans survived because they left. Some of the bandits may have fled. A lot of times when people are losing a fight, they don't just fight till they die. They like try and leave. They don't want to die. Yeah, I'm guessing we got 2 corpses. There might be more hiding in the brush, but I'm not going to look all day. I think we'll just call it good with the 2 we found here. So what have we retrieved from these corpses? Got a cup, a hat, got some gloves, another cup, a bow. That's a good coif, I bet. This is not worth weight as far as whatever. We might use it though. We'll take it to potentially for use. This is too broken to be worth using, and it's too heavy to be worth selling, so we'll just leave it. We'll take the money, obviously. He had 30 hunting arrows. That's crazy good. He also had some cheap wine that's like pretty dirty. 63 out of 100%. Which is weird because wine doesn't generally degrade. I'm not sure why he has ended up... Probably got like blood on it or something. But we'll take that as well. We'll probably drink that in a minute. And the other one Had a covered bassinet. That's a fancy pants helmet. 7 weight, but I think we were doing 20 weight to value ratio, so like that'd be like 140 for value, and it's 284, so it is worth selling at the very least. We won't wear that for reasons I'll explain in a moment. Those are worth it. What was it, 4x20 is 80. That's worth it. That's probably worth using. That's maybe worth using. Jerkin's probably not worth shit to me. I'll just leave it. The boots probably aren't either. The linen hood I might wear. We'll take that. He had some deer meat. It's kind of broken, but we'll take it, I guess. He has that bandage looks pretty worn up. I don't think I want to use that. So I'll just leave that on him. Okay. Well, our fighting netted some results. We got something out of that at least. If you can call that fighting. As far as weapons, we got another mercenary bedfellow. That's cool. It's not as good condition as ours, so we'll sharpen that and sell it when we get the opportunity. Found a bow, and it is better than ours, and we do have the stats for it now. It's a 5-4, and we have 6-4. And it is higher damage a little bit. You can see 37 to 44. There is a trade-off, though, with bows. The way bows work in this is essentially the more damage they do, the slower they are. Like, the higher level bows are like, you know, there's bows that do like 70 damage, but they like are super fucking slow. It takes like 2.5 or 3 seconds to get to full draw. Whereas there's bows that do like really low damage, but they draw faster. And I actually prefer the faster bows myself. So I think we're actually going to stick with our current bow. Even though this bow has slightly more damage, I'd prefer the faster draw speed. But we'll take that for selling or whatever. This has an edge so we can sharpen it to get maintenance skill, so that's why we'll take that. So I was going to demonstrate the helmet. So normally, like in our current state, when we draw our sword, nothing happens, right? We just have a sword in our hand. Like our vision is the same, and that is because we are wearing a like open face helmet. This is a closed face helmet. You can see in the picture here. If you wear a closed face helmet, I just put that on, your vision is normal until you draw a weapon, and then you get this. You get restricted vision, which I don't enjoy. I like being able to see. So although this is higher defense than our current helmet, I assume. I think our current helmet was like this one. Ours was 6.62 and this one's 12.5. I don't want to have a closed face, so we're not going to use that. But we will sell it because it is worth some money. The gauntlets I'm not sure about. Our gloves are 5.52. They have really good stealth factors though. This is 11.4, so it's a lot better defensively, but the stealth is like way worse. And you can see it does actively change our stuff. Our noise, conspicuousness, and visibility all go down for the cost of defense. Our hands, like our current defenses, you can see down here, our head has the highest at 18, 22, 17. And these are different. Each column is a different type of defense. The first one is stab defense. Second one is slash, and the third one is blunt. So depending on what they're using, if they're like hitting you with a club, the blunt is what matters. If they're like cutting you with a long sword, this is what matters. And if they're like thrusting you with the sword, it's this one. But generally our head is the most protected, which is good because our head is where our brain is. And our arms are also very protected, which is also probably good because we have those sticking out in front of us holding a weapon. But generally, like, the legs are the least important, in my opinion. I think body needs more defense. Our body is pretty weak right now, and that's because we're using... where is it? This thing, this leather jerkin, is our current... That's our plate armor. Our body plate is just like this shitty leather... garbage. It's like a 331. Like, we could get like actual metal plate that would do way better, and we will. It's just a matter of time till we find one. But the question is, do we want to switch to composite? I don't think so. I think we're going to stick with our leather gloves for now. I think we'll just sell these. As far as the chassis go, I think So the Charlies are slightly different. Ours are actually better defensively. They have the same other stats though. So we'll sell these. They're worth selling at least. The coifs are the same. The black batted coif. We found 2 on these guys. Theirs are better condition than ours, but they're exactly the same otherwise. So we'll put one of those on. We'll put on the 54 condition and we'll sell the weaker ones. I bet this dark gambeson is really good. So we're currently wearing this padded gambeson, light padded armor, which is a 235 defensively. This one is a 359, so it's better defensively already. But the stealth factors are also going to be better, I'm assuming. Ours currently is 61, 47, 10. And this is 22, 15, 0. This is 0 noise. That's crazy good. This one's also 9 charisma, and the old one's 6 charisma. So this one's just better at like a whole bunch of stuff. This is like a really good gambeson. So we're going to take that, and we'll just drop ours on the ground because it's not worth keeping. But that's better, and you can see little bits of it on us here in our elbows and crotch. That under padded armor is what we just changed. We've been wearing this common bassinet. It's a 6.62 defensively. We found the scaly skull cap, which is slightly better defensively. And very similar noise stuff, and then it's also higher charisma. So I think that is a good change. It's bad condition, but oh well. Ours is worth keeping to sell. We'll just sell those gloves. Oh, we actually have good shoes. We have the noble shoes. As I say, these hunting boots might be worth using, but no, our noble shoes are actually the same defense. They're slightly better stealthily. They just have a little bit better conspicuousness, and they're better charismatically as well. The hunting boots are not worth selling. We will just drop those. I was interested in maybe changing hoods just for aesthetic reasons. I don't know if I prefer the black and white or the tan. I think let's see how the factors compare. They're the same defensively. And the black and white is actually better on stealth and charisma. So yeah, we'll just drop this. We don't need this one. I think the hose are going to be... No, they're not identical. The other ones are actually slightly better on stealth and the same defense. So we'll go ahead and switch to that one. Okay, so we updated our armor. I don't know if I cut all that out or not. I probably cut that out. That was boring, me going through every item one by one. But this is how we ended up. I just changed out a few things here. Updated some stuff. Changed our stats. You can see a summary of our stats here under my head. Go ahead and drop these in the horrors. I don't think we can use any of these kits, really. Unfortunately, we're just too shitty to use any of them. We need to get that figured out. Cool. Marigold wore off. We are still injured as hell, though. I think we're gonna not continue this quest. I think we're gonna head back to the tavern to try and do the main quest that we were doing.
Yeah.
I think that's the end of this little diversion. Our health is still really bad. We're going to drink another healing potion. We're going to make a bunch of these really soon. We'll have more than we can use, so we might as well keep using them. Try and keep our health from being too low. Let's see, is the priest man in here waiting for us, or is it too early? I think we're still too early. Let's do some eating and drinking and whatnot. We have 20 bad hair meat. That is not stolen anymore. That's good. We're going to drink this cheap wine. Yeah, we'll call it at that. Let's see if he'll buy this rotten hair meat.
Good luck to you.
I don't know why he would want this. He'll pay 0.3 groschen for rotten hair meat. You know what? That's not terrible.
I'd like to
Natural.
Here you are.
Thanks.
I don't know why he wanted rotten hair meat, but I'm happy to get rid of it. Play dice while we're waiting. You know, play dice, Joseph?
My respects to you.
No.
Good luck to you.
You don't play dice, villager?
Good day to you.
No.
Farewell.
I think these guys are already playing, but we could probably interrupt them.
God be with you.
We can.
I'd like to throw some dice. Fancy a game?
You can bet different amounts. We're going to bet very low. He's probably going to kick our ass. He
You're
probably
a
has a
brave
bunch of
soul
cheating
taking me
dice.
on. I'm not used to losing.
We'll see what he has once he rolls his dice.
Ale for me.
So we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a sequence or whatever. We get 750 points for that. I'm going to score and pass. Keep our points. We could have rolled again and had like a 33% chance of continuing. So you can see here he has 2 cheaty dice. He has a kingdom die and he has whatever that metal die is. The kingdom die has a greater chance of getting 6s. That weird symbol counts as a 6.
That's it.
I don't know what that metal one is that he has, that weird colored one. But this guy probably would kick our ass. Probably going to kick our ass, I should say.
That'll do me.
We got really lucky on our first hand, but I feel like his luck is going to be a lot better than ours. That being said, we just got 555, which is pretty good. Question is, do I push it? I could roll again, and if we roll either a 1 or a 5 on any of the 3 remaining dice, we could score something and continue. So there's a 33% chance on each dice. So a 67% chance of failure times 3. What's 67% of 67% of 67%? I'm curious what our failure chance is. I gotta find out here. So if we roll again, there's a 70. This is only including single scoring. It's more complicated than that, but I'm simplifying the math. But if I score and roll again, I think there's roughly a 70% chance that we will score something, and there's a 30% chance we will bust. I think we're gonna take the risk. 70% chance we don't bust. We did not bust. We did great. We got a 1 and a 5. And we'll pass then. 650 points. That's pretty good. We got like, he did really good. He got a 1 through 5 and a 1. So he was able to score all that and roll again. Got 555 and a 1. See, this is why we got to be aggressive. He's already overtaken us. We got 2 1s. I don't see much else. Now, we could score both 1s and roll again, but it's actually, I think, better to score one of the 1s and roll again because you're more likely to get like a, 5 sequence or a triple or something. The more dice you roll. So I want to keep as many dice available as possible. Not great. We'll take the 1 and roll again.
Come
We
on.
could have scored the 5
time
there,
I had
but
a
I'm
throw.
I'm trying to get triples and stuff. Yeah, so we got 444 because I was so clever. And that's 600 points for us. So now we have 2,000. If this was up to 2,000, we would have just won, but it's up to 4,000 here.
No point in pushing it.
This could be a way to make money if we get good at this, because we could, we could have bet like 100 groschen. Made a big chunk of money here. No sequentials, no triples. I think just the 1 is all we have. All I want, I should say. I think there was more, possibly. Ooh, this is great. We got triple 3s and 2 1s. 500 points, and that's all the dice, so we can continue. There's a chance we'll bust immediately, which would suck, but 1, 2, 3, 5. No cool stuff here. No triples, no nothing. That's 700 points. It's very unlikely to bust on 5, but we're kind of risking a lot. I think I'm going to continue for now.
Come on. It's time I had
But
a
I'm
throw.
definitely going to score very soon.
My pleasure.
Got 3, 4, 5. I think we'll just take the 5 and score. I don't want to bust. I think rolling 4, it's a low chance of bust, but it's a lot of points to lose, so we're just going to lock it in. But playing conservative like that's probably going to get us a loss because he has such a better chance with his cheaty dice. Yeah, look at him just racking up the points.
We'll see.
I think he's almost... No, he's not quite one. He's got a little ways to go.
Cursed.
He bust finally. Haha. He lost a bunch of points there. Okay, what do we got? 1, 2... Oh, we got one triple twos. Triple twos are terrible. They're the worst triple. We could take the triple twos and the one, and it'd be 300 points, and we'd only have 2 die left. I think it's actually better to just take the one and roll. Because we would have got, what was it? It was 300 points. We'll see if we get more or less than 300 by the end of this.
Not afraid of anything, eh?
See, we could have taken that 300, but because I'm so clever, we now have 500 and we're rolling a fresh hand. Got triple threes. That's pretty good. And that we'll take that 350. That's good. Pass there. 3,600. We might actually win this. We only have 400 points left to victory. You got triple ones and a 5. Yikes. He's right behind us. So we might have to win here. Because he'll probably win next turn. So I think we have to get 400 points. Or else we lose.
What's the hold up there?
We have a triple 3 and a 5. But that's not 400. That's 350.
To get my own ale.
We could do that and then roll again. And every dice, like I said, has like a 2/3 failure chance. So we're rolling 2 dice. So it'd be... I don't know. It was 30 to 70 before, but what would it be with 2 dice?
I'll bring it right away.
Yeah, it'd be like 55% success, 45% failure. Slightly better than a coin flip. We could keep out the 5, go with the triple threes.
Take a day or two, why don't you?
I think we're going to keep out the 5. We're going to go with triple threes and we're going to roll again. There's a 30% chance we bust. I think, no, we didn't get the bust. We got this. That's 400. That's a win. Score and pass.
Sacra. I can't believe it.
I did it. Okay, let's let's continue the quest now. Hey, get out the way, lady. Here we go. See if the priest came up with anything.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything. But maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh. I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Here. We'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but they...
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujitz, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture.
He said Ushitz there.
We'll have to drink to
They
that.
said Auschwitz
Now the
before.
most
I don't know which
important
one it is
thing.
now.
What actually happened in
Ushitz
Noyle?
is what I always said.
The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that of a man of the cloth.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But, first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits is in Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And, of course, describing them in detail. A tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison. And nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticizes the Pope?
It's like Henry's getting a bit drunk
for
here.
Debauchery.
No, I don't.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it.
Yeah, give me
They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up, and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe?
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. It's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
That sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me
Henry's
down.
already had a drink. What is he talking like that for? Is that because I drank the cheap wine before I walked in here? Henry's finally feeling drunk from that.
Na kraj padnul desnej smutek, do dnielo i ráno utek, nech již mouženský maj strach, do včera žil dneska je prach, už sej bojí svatý muži nechtěl.
And some more dice. Different game though, it looks like. Well, maybe not. I might just have to dice to roll.
Enough of this!
Uh-oh.
Bailiff! Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped, and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
This is a fight? Or is this just a cutscene? We might have to fist fight these guys.
You looking for a fight?
Yeah.
Henry,
Here we
back me
go.
up.
I'm always down to dance.
That all you got? You are
Ooh, we're strong now. We beat the clinch. We gotta be very careful. I've made this mistake so many times now. No punching if anyone's near us. Only punch the targets in front of us, not the random passerbys. Okay, that one's done.
Yo.
Your turn. I'm very drunk. Okay, he's down. Where's the bailiff? Hey, bailiff. I'm so drunk I can't aim. Okay. Well, where are we now? So we beat the police up.
I'd love to. And Henry too, I'm sure.
Now we're gonna ring
Right,
some
Henry.
bells.
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you
Godwin's
out of your mind?
concubine.
What will people...
They can say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dears. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oh. We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
This is wonderful.
The middle of the night. We're just ringing the town bell.
And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Oh my.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here. Oh.
How the hell are we? he's he's buying at the sheep. Bah. Bah. Bah.
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Godwin, you beast. Get up. Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards.
Whoa. Fucking hell. Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. Oh, my guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Wait, before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me. I'd like to help you, but you can. You can do the sermon for me.
I'm just as fucked up as you are. I don't know why I should do it.
First, I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look, from what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
What about the sacred bullshit? You're just gonna give up on that?
So all at once the confessional seal isn't so sacred?
Don't mock me. I won't give you a second chance.
Well, all right. I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosh.
Christ almighty. Fine then.
We'll see how this goes.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.
Thankfully, I knew this was coming, so if I looked very focused earlier, it's because I was trying to remember everything he was saying, because we have to repeat it in a few seconds. And so I was like really trying my best to remember it all. wonder how our stats are doing. Pretty normal. We could do a marigold. This cures hangover, I think. Yeah. Within 1 minute, we'll add health and dispel hangover effects. We should probably drink that. Our health's not full, and we currently, I think we have a hangover. Maybe we don't, though. Actually, I don't think we have a hangover. I think we're just drunk. That was probably a mistake. Yeah, that's just drunkenness. We're just drunk. A hangover is a different effect. Oh, well, we're still injured. That'll still help us a little bit. Why are we naked?
Never show up. The swill pup. Look at him. He can hardly walk after
I should have put our clothes back on.
You were with them, you beast. Just
Look at him. Mother of God. Any minute now he'll throw up.
So I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabiles a manus suas. Hoc facite in meam commemoratio.
Fancy Italian church or something. I don't know what the hell they're saying. Latin? By Latin. The girl we had sex with.
Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where, by the grace of God, was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Well, let's see how this goes.
Curious which one of them will puke first.
Okay, we can begin confidently, start a lengthy, or start a modest. We're going to be confident.
Brothers and sisters, let me get straight to the point. I'd like to talk about the church and how corrupt it is.
That boy has a cheek.
Just as we are commanded to obey the priests
I don't know
in
if I
matters
can
of
remember. This is going to be
virtue,
hard.
so are we commanded to defy them face to face if they live contrary to God's commandments.
Hear that, Godwin?
It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, cumens, hunger, and chaos. The accursed wealth that the church is drowning in is poisoning almost the whole of Christendom. When dogs are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock of ravens that has descended on this land to peck up every speck of gold and silver. They show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by covetousness. They trade everything. Everything is for sale. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay, and you will have absolution. And the prelates sin and give themselves absolution.
For shame! Shame upon them!
And what sins? They live with harlots and keep concubines, even though only marital intercourse for the purpose of procreation is pure. If someone takes a woman or man only to satisfy their own lust, who seduces them to do so but Satan? And how much darker the sin if that man is a servant of the church? Who can turn his face to God, who fornicates and then puts on priestly robes?
Nothing we don't know about already.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay?
Hey, we're getting it.
Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants to pamper them. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates. Away with them.
We're fortunate to have our good Father Godwin. At least he's a fair and simple man.
God sees what is happening on earth, and he is filled with righteous wrath that those who should seek the salvation of souls instead seek mammon and the idle comfort of lucrative posts. Blessed are the shepherds who share the poverty of their flock, who are as one with you and bear with you the burden of this earthly pilgrimage, who do not condemn your venial sins.
Aye, all honor to Godwin.
Hey.
Let him drink like one of us.
I got him turned
That
on
is
his side
all I
now.
heard in Prague. Amen.
That was great.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that huss.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a
I'm
silver
glad he
tongue.
came here. I don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague, and he told it nicely.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin.
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubosh tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now, slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you...
Well, now Lubosh came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Fell out?
Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubosh kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubosh killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko, Pius, Timmy.
Pius. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest.
I did do very
Anyhow,
well.
with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
Well, it's fun hanging out with the priest man. Had a good night with him. Okay. So what is next for us? I think I saw it say, so our next objective is to track down Riki in Ledechko. We also need to probably update what's his name? Bernard and our liege, whatever his name was. I'm really bad with names. But we could go update our people, tell them what the hell's going on, what we've learned. We could also continue the Riki thing. We could also do this crossroads, find the pie thing that we were doing and we got distracted. I really want to do alchemy as well, which is here. And then I think another one I want to do is learn to read. I don't think we'll do the Rete Tourney. I think we can just turn that off. That's a recurring quest. It'll fail and then come back and fail and come back. But I think it'd be too difficult to go because we're currently, if we look at the map here, we're way up here in Auschwitz or however you say this. We'd have to go way south to get to Rete, and that's such a journey. It's just not worth it. Ledechko's kind of on the way. Ledechko's over here, but and I think our liege said he's in Mernhoyad, which is somewhere over here. I don't know exactly. Maybe here. I think it's southwest of Townburg, so it's like around here. But I think what we'll do, we'll probably end the episode here. I'm assuming this has been long enough to be an episode. I think next time, I think the next episode is probably going to be titled something like, I don't know, learning to read and make potions or something. Because I think what I'm going to do is, we can learn to read in Auschwitz, so we should do that while we're here. And then once we learn to read, we'll go over here in the west in this wooded area to deal with the, well, I say deal with is a harsh way to word that, to purchase and brew potions with the alchemist witch in the woods. And we'll brew up a bunch of potions, and it'll be like an episode of learning to read and making potions. And then I think after we're done with that, I'll probably take the whole episode, because that's going to be a lot of stuff. Maybe we'll do the side quest as well in that episode, and then we'll probably go continue the main quest after that. I think next episode's going to be some side quest stuff. And I think the following episode will continue the journey. But I think that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. This was quite the fun episode. And I hope to see you in the next one. Take care and have a good day or night or whatever. Goodbye.